Hey there, people. So today I'm going to do a little Terraria tips and tricks episode. I'm probably going to make this into a bit of a series, but for today I'm going to start with some basics. Maybe you've just started with the game and you've just figured out, how to play, or maybe you've been playing a while, but there's some things that you haven't quite figured out how to do, or some hotkeys and shortcuts and various things that you could benefit from. Probably the advanced players are going to know most of these, but I myself didn't know some of these until very recently. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with some of the simpler stuff, the more probably slightly more obvious stuff, like your hotkeys up here, your numbered row of inventory where you can switch between them just by pushing the number. Of course, that's on PC, but on console, you can, use the shoulder buttons and stuff. That, of course, is the first line in your inventory, so you can swap in any items and just push the number to use that. Now, another thing that's not so obvious, maybe, is some of the controls that are not as obviously documented or as obvious if you haven't, read the manual, so to speak. Like you can just throw an item by pushing T. And so if you need to, get rid of something or you want to pass something onto somebody or whatever, you just push T. There's also F9 if you want to change the lighting settings. You can see it's affecting how things look down here. If you're in multiplayer, you can push enter to chat. If you just want quick access to your map, push M, and that'll quickly change to the map. Push it again to get out of that, or you can push escape, go back to your inventory. Also, quick heal. If you need a quick heal, you push H, and it's going to use the best health item that you have in your inventory. So if I needed one of those, I'd just push H, perfect in the middle of a boss fight. Same thing for mana. You can push J, which is going to quickly use a mana restoration. So maybe a mana restoration potion or whatever mana items you have in your inventory. It's actually going to go with the first one, starting from the top left. Now, one that if you've seen me stumble through healing myself in the middle of a battle or getting all my potions in order, that kind of thing, if I just push B, it's just used one of each of my buff potions. I had 4 of those there. It's used one of my swiftness potions, and I had only had one of 3 of the other ones. And you just push B, it uses them all right away. Speaking of which, it's important to understand what buffs and debuffs are. So having just used those, I had an archery potion, so I have an archery buff, iron skin potion, regeneration potion, swiftness potion. Those are the potions I just used. So buffs are bonuses essentially, which are going to give you benefits obviously from potions, but you can also get them from other things, such as if I use my pumpkin pie here. Now I've got the well-fed buff as well, minor improvement to all stats. So when you're out of your inventory, it'll show what buffs are in effect. You can also, if you're in your inventory but you're on the second screen, it'll show them there as well. Buffs are bonuses. You can get them from potions, you can get them from other things. Even if you look at some of these, I've got one for cozy fire because I'm near a campfire. So those are bonuses. Debuffs are important to understand as well. If you watch my boss fights, my recent ones particularly, debuffs are the opposite. They're penalties. So you can inflict debuffs on your enemies, including bosses, or you can have debuffs inflicted on you by your enemies or, environmental hazards, that kind of stuff. So those are penalties. And in fact, those will show here as well if they're inflicted on you. Now, speaking of which, as I'm in here, you've got your armor and equipment here. But if you go push this equipment again, you've got some dedicated slots here as well. Now, I don't have any pets, but instead of having, a pet item, which are just, pets are just cute little creatures that follow you around. Some of them will let off light though, which is a benefit. Instead of holding those in your inventory, you've got dedicated slots for those. You've got one for a regular pet and one for a light pet. There's certain classifications there. You can make yourself a special minecart and put that in your minecart slot. Now, again, obviously, I didn't know this until recently. I figured it out for my grappling hook, but not for my mount. I've had this slime mount sitting here in my bar so I could quickly switch to it. I can just put it in there. And there's also some buttons for these as well. By default, it's E to use your grappling hook. And it's R to quick cast your mount. So I can just push R and there's my mount. Instead of fumbling through my inventory, I put them in there, I just push R. So those are, obviously things to know. You can reassign your controls. Like I'm left-handed, so I've reassigned my grappling hook particularly. Um, that, of course, is in the menu here. In your controls, you can do that from in-game or the main menu. There's some other things to know as well, though. Like you've got these giant stacks of things in your inventory. If you just want, one or two or whatever, you can right click. You can take one out, you can take a couple out. You can even hold right click and it'll spin that up. And that works as well when you're purchasing things from NPC if you want more than one. Like if I go down here and talk to my merchant and I want a bunch of arrows, I don't have to like click every single one. I can go shop. I can just right click. There we go. Got a bunch of arrows. So you can hold that down and it kind of accelerates. Um, it also works for crafting things actually. So if I'm at a crafting station, I want to craft, a bunch of flaming arrows out of those arrows. I can just hold right click and there we go. I've crafted all those into flaming arrows. So crafting, buying, going through stacks in your inventory or in the chest, it works for all of those. And equivalence on consoles is the circle button on PlayStation or the B button on Xbox, so that you know that as well. Now another quick shortcut is, say you have a bunch of equipment stored away like I do, and right now I'm wearing my frost armor, but say for some strange reason I want to switch to my shadow helmet, I can just right click on that shadow helmet, it automatically swaps it with the one that I'm currently wearing. So, and that'll work as well, like if I put this in my inventory, it doesn't matter if it's in a chest or my inventory or wherever it is, you just right click that, it swaps it with the one that's currently equipped, and you can do that with your accessories as well. So um, yeah, see, I can swap my watch in there, which doesn't actually benefit me, but I can do that. And let's see, there's also shift click to move directly to trash. Say I don't like this item. Um, this is actually only left shift. I can left shift. Maybe that only works. Yeah, left shift, hold left shift, click, puts it right into the trash. Also, you can mark things as favorites. Again, this is only the right alt. It's the alt key, but it's the right alt. If I don't want to lose that, I can mark that as a favorite. So I hold alt and then I click on it. And basically marking it as a favorite with a special border there prevents it from quick stacking, quick trashing, accidentally throwing or depositing. So basically that's for items you want to save that you don't want to accidentally throw away or whatever. You can mark them as favorites. Now that only takes effect until you manually remove it. I can mark that as a favorite, and then if I hold shift and click it, it's not going to go to trash anymore, but I can still manually take that and move it away, and when I put it back, it's no longer a favorite, just so you know. Now you'll also notice one thing that a lot of the YouTubers like myself making videos, and I've only done this recently, if you look at my cursor, I've got this cool white border. Now I'm actually going to have to exit to the main menu to show you how to do this. It used to be that you had to get into editing config files, and if you look it up on Google or something, it's going to tell you the instructions to do that, but that doesn't even work anymore. That's not how you do it. You actually just go on the main menu, in your settings, and it's under cursor, and you just go to border color. And the only thing that really matters is this third one. If you want, nice bright white edges, you just drag that third one all the way over to the right. If you want to play with the color and make it something else, you can play with those other settings. But that's actually all you need to do to get that nice mouse border so that you can easily see where your mouse is. Now I am going to have to reload my game to show you the rest, so I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so just a few more items here to cover. First of all, of course, you can rename chests. Like I renamed this one armor so that I quickly know what's in there. That's just a matter of opening the chest and choosing the rename option. But you can, of course, also rename statues, gravestones, that is, tombstones, not statues, tombstones and signs. If you just right click on that and choose edit, I can, remove evidence of my embarrassing defeat by renaming what those say. Another thing that's important to understand is the hammer. So I've stuck that in my freed up spot in my hotbar here. But if you're wondering how I did these nice stairs, if you're wondering how people create nice little traps, nice buildings, sloped roofs and stuff, it's all about the hammer. So I've got this bump in the dirt. If I just hammer that, you can see I can keep hammering it and basically come up with different configurations. But if you want a nice slope, you can hammer that. If you want to make some stairs, you can hammer your platforms. And you can do that on your roofs and various other things. You can even do that on minecart tracks, so that it'll create a junction and decide, which minecart takes precedence and which way you go by default. So the hammer is very useful. Also the piggy banks and safes. So I've got a piggy bank sitting here. It's important to understand how the piggy bank works. All the items in your piggy bank are specific to your character. They're actually saved with your character when you exit and save the game. So you can actually, if you take that character into another world, even the items in your piggy bank and your safe will come with you into the other world even. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are, you'll have the same access to the same item. So if I open that, I've stored a bunch of junk in there. If I go over here, I've also got the money trough, and all the money trough is flying portable access to your piggy bank. So see, I've got the exact same things in there. And the safe functions the same way. Now, I haven't actually bought a safe, so let's buy a safe. Both of these you buy from the merchant. The piggy bank is 1 gold. As soon as you have the merchant, you can buy that. The safe is 20 gold. It functions the same way as far as what's in it and how it works. But it's 20 gold, and you can only get that after you've defeated Skeletron. Now, the piggy bank, the regular piggy bank, as opposed to the money trough, you have to put on either a workbench, a table, or a couple of platforms. So that's why I've got mine sitting here on a couple of platforms. You can also, though, put one inside of the other. So the safe, on the other hand, you can just stick it on the ground in any space where there's a couple of blocks, like like you would with a chest. The difference is a chest you can't remove if it's got stuff in it, but the piggy bank and the safe you can. So I can take this piggy bank, I can go over here and I can put the piggy bank in the safe. And then not only that, I can pick up that safe and I can keep that in my inventory. And you can even put the safe in the piggy bank instead of the piggy bank in the safe. You can do it either way, but wherever you go, you'll have access to all that stuff. So then, obviously I've got my money trough is flying, which is another matter. But if I go over here, I'll stick down this safe, I'll open that, bring out my piggy bank. If I put my piggy bank up on these platforms, same stuff, doesn't matter where you go. So it's perfect to do that actually, to have both, put one inside the other to save one extra spot in your inventory. And you can take that with you when you're in the dungeon and that kind of thing. Just put them down and you can fill them up with all your loot and save lots of space in your inventory. Each one has an additional 40 slots, 4 rows times 10. So you've got lots of space if you do all that. And you can use that to save all kinds of extra stuff. And again, you can take that anywhere in the world. You can take that across to a different world. And the thing is, it's specific to your character. Other players cannot access the stuff that's in your safe or your piggy bank. It's saved with your character. It's unique to your character. If another player comes to the piggy bank or the safe, they'll only see their own stuff. And it doesn't matter which piggy bank or which safe you go to. You'll see your stuff. They'll see their stuff. So you can keep a few of these in different houses. You can carry one with you, whatever you need to do. But you're going to access the same stuff wherever you are with your character. So that's a really important one to understand. I hope you like all these tips and tricks. I am thinking I'll probably do some more. I'm guessing this might be kind of popular. So I'll probably do some more on different topics, but there's your basics, your hotkeys, your shortcuts, your things that are going to make your life easier. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please give it a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.